want to lose weight to look our best or things like that. But a lot of us need to lose weight because of our body weight's implications for our blood pressure, or for, in this case, for blood sugar and insulin metabolism. Because the more body fat we have on our body, the more that affects our body's ability to manage carbohydrate, to manage blood sugar, and it affects the way insulin behaves and the way we respond to insulin in our body. So to the extent we can change our diet, that's one of the things that Muriel's cookbook does. It really focuses on avoiding sugar in recipes and not doing things that contain sugar, or a lot of those, as I call them, the white carbs, pasta, white rice, potatoes, things like that. So we want to do our very best to not challenge our body with a lot of carbohydrate and sugar. And cinnamon is just an ingredient. I've been asked for decades to make a product that could support healthy blood sugar metabolism, to support healthy insulin metabolism. And until cinnamon came along, it was really a discussion of making sure you get all your essential nutrients. But with cinnamon extract in particular, when it's properly extracted, you have an opportunity to support what for many of us has become a very challenging metabolism. It's a bit of an epidemic in our country in terms of, because of our gradually increasing waistlines, where our body composition is changing, our activity levels are changing, and with it, our ability to manage blood sugar and carbohydrate.
Oh, absolutely. By the way, you have to read the reviews on this. I mean, people like me who are crazy about it, rave about it. 660 reviews, 4.7 star customer pick rating. Of those 660, do you know over 550 are perfect? So if you struggle with that management of your blood sugar, and you know, I think most of us do, and we all know who we are, we waited for this. And nobody does it better than Andrew. You can sprinkle it in your coffee, you can sprinkle it on his amazing oatmeal or oat bran. You're welcome to do that, but just choose your size of choice. The 30, the 60, the 120, and the 240, great savings, flex pay, extended holiday return policy until the end of January, free shipping as well. I will tell you, this is one of our more limited products that we have this afternoon. And of course, Andrew is closing his anniversary. So if you've been waiting for this, I certainly would recommend it to you, especially as we head into the holiday seasons, because perhaps, you know, we are certainly not throwing caution to the wind, and that is not what this product is all about. But I think we're all looking for those natural tools to help us manage our life better, especially for those of us out there who do struggle with our management of our blood sugar.
Yeah, and cinnamon extract, it's one of those natural tools. And what I've been talking about a number of times, it's funny, when I first introduced this product, most people hadn't heard of it.
True.
And still a lot of us will get a blood test at a doctor's office, and we get our fasting blood sugar level, which is a snapshot of our blood sugar level the moment that blood was drawn at the doctor's office. And certainly that's insightful, but what's even more insightful is something called our A1C, which our A1C is a blood test that, the way I try to describe it so most people understand, it's the difference between a photograph and sort of a videotape. So that videotape, it gives you a videotape of the average blood sugar level or the effective blood sugar level over a period of time, a couple of months before. So that's very insightful. So when you and your doctor are looking at how your body is managing its blood sugar level, more and more folks are looking at A1C. And A1C is something we like to see in the 5s, in the mid to lower 5s if possible. As we start creeping up into the higher 5s, our A1C level is indicative of changes that are not desirable. So just it's something that we should always pay attention to. We shouldn't just delegate it to our doctor. When we are partners with our doctor and informed, I think it empowers us to make good decisions and make responsible decisions in terms of, as I said earlier, our diet and certainly supplementation. I was just gonna read a couple of reviews before we run along here. Working great. I've been taking 1 capsule per day. I have no problems with digestion. Again, cinnamon can be difficult for most people. Ours will not upset your stomach at all. I'm an overall healthy person. My last blood sugar test was much better than the previous one. I had not lost weight, so the only thing I could attribute this to would be the cinnamon capsules. My doctor said to keep on taking them. I'm very pleased with the product. And again, the reviews, another product like cranberry, like Ultimate Friendly Flora, where the reviews are virtually perfect.
Huge.
Tastes great in coffee. That's exactly what Muriel does. She makes her little, little cappuccinos at home, and she sprinkles the cinnamon on top. I sprinkle it in my oat bran. So I just open a capsule and sprinkle it on, it's fine. You can sprinkle it in tea, coffee, like the cranberry, like the Ultimate Friendly Flora. You can do that, you can mix it with whatever you like and consume it. I take the capsule apart and use this in my coffee or tea instead of sugar. And it tastes great. I like that it has a blood sugar stabilizing effect and is all natural. It's wonderful that Andrew uses the best, highest quality ingredients in his products. Also, I really like the fact that Andrew follows the latest research and changes his formula as the latest, reliable, unbiased scientific research dictates. Keep up the good work. The only place we're probably not very environmental is sometimes with our labels, because when I change formulas frequently, it means we discard labels.
Oh, true.
But we make sure we recycle them.
Right.
So, but again, that's something that, as you've seen with my products, the Secure, our meal replacement, that's been around for 30 years. There's probably been close to 30 changes in the formula. And it's something that we do frequently. And sometimes we don't even talk about the changes. It's just little subtle changes in certain ingredients that make the product better. But our goal is just to continue. We make everything. No one makes them for us. Most times when you see someone on television, someone else made the product for them. When you see a picture of our factory, it's our factory. We built that factory. We actually did.
Right.
We built the factory. We installed the solar panels. So we make everything ourselves, and even more than that, we have zero carbon footprint.
Yeah.
You hear about climate change, you hear about being environmentally responsible. I don't think there's another company more environmentally responsible than we are. And I've run my company this way for several decades. Before it was fashionable and trendy to talk about, we've been doing that. So not only do we make pure products that are a pleasure to consume, that don't upset your stomach, won't be irritating, won't repeat, but we make products in a way that are also a pleasure to the planet, that aren't an assault on our planet as well.
Absolutely. So I know we've got a lot to get to yet in this hour of time together, because we are going to be doing an abbreviated airing of our today's special.
And quickly just wanted to mention berberine. Cinnamon was the first product the first ingredient that really had credible